This is Evan Brand, Certified Functional Medicine Practitioner. Thanks for joining me. Let's dive right in. So years ago, I was traveling back and forth across the country, going from Las Vegas, where I lived and had family members, and then back to Kentucky, which was home, and then down to Texas, where I had a job. So I was kind of bouncing around to places. And for me, it's stressful. I'm not somebody who really enjoys traveling much. I like being grounded, physically to the earth with my feet grounded in the soil, but also I like to be on the ground. I'm not a huge fan of flying. And I've had many pilots as clients, and I've seen the detrimental effects of flying over a period of time to these people in regards to their circadian rhythm disruption, their neurotransmitters, their gut, and all of it. So mitochondrial issues we've seen as well. So it's just something that I don't like to do, but you got to be prepared if you're going to do it, in my opinion. I don't want to just go fly blind. I want to be prepared. So let's dive in. I'm going to focus this on the screen over here now. So number one, charcoal. I think this is a great travel supplement because charcoal is going to be really helpful for like the jet fuel. You're going to breathe in a lot of stuff when you're just sitting there on the runway. A lot of times you're going to take a hit of that jet fuel. It's just not good. You're probably going to be exposed to herbicide, right? Herbicide, pesticide, because you're going to be eating at various restaurants on your trip. You could be exposed to many other chemicals. I mean, just gasoline, right? Let's say that you're in the parking garage and you're going to rent a car and you're just breathing in all of that. What about bad foods too? I mean, we talked about the herbicide, pesticide, but what about just like a food reaction? Let's say you get exposed to gluten, you're trying to stay away from gluten, your diet's dialed in, and then you go somewhere, you get exposed to a sauce or something that irritates you and causes symptoms. I think charcoal is going to be really the magic remedy for all of that. Now, you could just use straight activated like coconut charcoal, or, in particular, we like a product called GI Detox. I'll link below. That's something that we carry. For the price, you can't beat it. It's got zeolite clay and some other nutrients in there too. Number two, moving on, enzymes. Yes, I love enzymes. Enzymes are your nutritional insurance policy, meaning if you and your friends sit down at the same meal and you take enzymes and they don't, you're going to get more nutrients from that exact same meal because you're going to be increasing that digestive fire. The average person is so stressed, they don't eat, they don't chew enough, they're just scrolling and bowling, they're on their freaking phone while they're eating. I mean, it's just bad. We are bad people when it comes to just settling down, slow down, chew the food. Please chew your food. Enzymes are going to give you that insurance policy. So I like an HCl plus an oxbile, plus lipase to help you digest your fat. You've got your proteases. I've got a formula called Pure Digest that I use personally and clinically. It's awesome. It's 200 milligrams of HCl, which is a little conservative, but if you got gut inflammation, you don't need to go too crazy. But hydrochloric acid is what you make. But when you have gut infections and you're stressed and you're traveling, you're likely going to be turning down that HCl production, meaning more burping, more gas, more bloating, more fatigue. So enzymes are a great strategy, especially when you're going out to restaurants. Like I said, you don't know what you're getting exposed to. And in my Pure Digest, I've got what's called DPP4. This is a special enzyme that actually helps you to break down gluten. So I'm not saying go eat gluten, but I'm saying if you do, you should have less trouble. Okay, moving on. Number three, oregano oil. I use an emulsified version. We've got one that's got an olive base to it, olive oil base, and it's a really small soft gel. But oregano is going to be potent for all types of stuff. So in terms of any type of like IBS issue, like a SIBO type problem, parasite issues, you never know. Like if you're going and drinking water, you don't know where the heck the water came from, or you're eating sushi, you don't know where the seafood came from, or the rice. Maybe they used tap water that had pathogens in it, and then that water is what they used to make the rice, and you ate the rice, and then you get a gut infection. I've seen it thousands of times. I've suffered with it personally. So oregano oil to me is something where if you go somewhere and you're like, oh my God, that was a shady little, street food truck or something, then I'd probably pop a soft gel of oregano oil, hopefully to kill off any pathogens you've been exposed to. All right, moving on. Adaptogenic herbs are great for travel because you're going to be stressed. So I would recommend, I've got an Adapt formula. We'll just say that because that's the easiest. It's got a blend. It's got eleuthero, which is Siberian ginseng, ashwagandha, B vitamins. It's got a little bit of rhodiola. It's kind of a broad spectrum adaptogenic herb support. And this is going to be my favorite because what you're doing is stressful. You're going up at altitude. You're coming back down to ground level. You've got changes in barometric pressure. You've got changes in atmosphere. You've got a lot of stuff going on. You're disconnected from the earth. And so you may be changing time zones. A lot of that is a stress on the nervous system, the immune system. So adaptogenic herbs are going to be your go-to. Nervous system support. So what I mean here, this is more for people that are going to be having issues with anxiety, fear of flying, that kind of stuff. I mean, I think GABA, in particular, pharma GABA is going to be a great version. I've got a chewable version of it that we've used, and it's like a candy. You just chew it up. I call it a chill pill, and it'll really take the edge off. So some type of a nervous system support, maybe passion flower or something like that, which ties nicely into the sleep support. So I think when I'm traveling, at least, if I've got stuff on my mind, let's say I'm going to go up on stage or do something like that, I may be a little stressed, I may be a little anxious about it. So I may take something like passion flower or just a small dose of melatonin, right? Maybe like, depends on the person, but maybe 1 to 5 milligrams I think is going to be plenty of melatonin, enough to help reset that circadian rhythm. So the real goal is to take the melatonin. If you're traveling over many time zones, 3 or more, then you probably want to do a little bit of melatonin at the sunset time of where you're going. Meaning, if you take off in the morning from somewhere and you show up somewhere and it's say 6, 7, 8, 9 p.m., that's a good time, the local time. You're going to take a little bit of melatonin then, and that'll quickly help regulate the circadian rhythm. So this is Evan Brain signing out. These are maybe the top. There could be a couple others I forgot, but these are probably the top travel supplements for me, and I would recommend them for you as well. If you need help clinically, please click on screen. You can schedule a call with my staff. Would love to help. Take care now. Bye-bye.